Have you ever been a mediator in a conflict? What was your experience like? What did you learn from it? Imagine a world where everyone communicates with empathy and resolves conflicts peacefully. What a positive impact that would make to the world around us, don't you think? Hello everyone, this is Mini here. Welcome back to my channel Grow with Mints. You guessed it correct. In today's video, we're going to talk about communication. Here, we're going to talk about five techniques that will help you make your interaction more uh, meaningful and help you develop deep connections. Also, five strategies which will help you resolve conflicts peacefully. So, let's get started. So, first, we'll talk about the five techniques. The first technique here is active listening. So, this is often overlooked, but active listening doesn't just mean hearing the words that are being said, but understanding, building a deep connection with the speaker. Here, you understand what is the emotion, what is the thought, what is the feeling behind the words that are being said. How can you do be an active listener? Is by being present in the conversation, maintaining steady eye contact, nodding to show that you are engaged, and this helps you develop a deep connection. And this goes a long way in building lasting connections and interactions. Next is empathetic response. Empathy is the cornerstone for compassion, and we are all on a journey to develop self love and self compassion, isn't it? So, when you're being empathetic, you put yourself in the other person's shoes. This helps you understand their feelings, the emotions, the where are they coming from. So, when you put yourself in the other person's shoes, that helps you have a deep connection, have a good interaction with the person that you are communicating with. This again helps you develop long lasting relationships. And when you are responding with empathy, there are certain phrases that you could use. So I will take you through those phases as well. So, some of the phrases that you can use in your empathetic response are, you know, instead of saying, I understand, you could say, I understand how you might feel. Rather than saying, oh, it must have been challenging for you, or rather saying, I think it was challenging for you. What you could rather say is, that must have been really challenging for you. When you put an emotion into the conversation or into your response, it really makes the other person feel comfortable. This way, you create an environment for a understanding conversation. Next point here is non-violent communication. Now, in non-violent communication, try to understand the feeling, the emotion, the need, the thought. And whenever you are communicating, communicate in a non-confrontational way. The moment you react in a confrontational way or you become aggressive, the communication takes a ugly turn. But at the same time, if you try to understand what is the thought, what is the feeling, or what is the need here, basically, what if you try and see what is the body language that the person is depicting, that really helps you have a non-violent conversation, and this way the communication becomes more effective. The next technique here is managing emotions. When you're communicating, and for it to be effective, managing and controlling your emotions is a very, very crucial thing here. Now, in most of the times when we are communicating, especially if it is a heated discussion or if it's an argument that we are having with the opposite party, and if our state of mind, our mental state of mind is not good. So if you are angry or if you're sad, when you communicate, you are not rationally thinking. You are speaking from a place of anger or from a place. Your response will not be an effective one. And so this is, this emotions do impact our conversations. So it's always better, it's always good if you can respond from a place of calm and composure. What also this helps you do is resolve any conflict peacefully and maintain and develop good relations and deep connections again. The next technique that we'll be talking about is finding a common ground. Whenever you feel a conversation is not going the way you expect it to go, or rather, the best thing for an effective communication is to find a common ground, a common interest, a common value, or any idea that is common between both the parties. When you can discuss based on the idea or value or the emotions that are common, it becomes more effective. The other person is more receptive to what you have to say. So these are the five techniques which you can use, especially if you are in a discussion or in a communication that involves emotions, that involves a conflict or a resolution that is needed. You can use these five techniques. Now we look at the strategies that you can use. Let's look at the first strategy. It's time and space. When you are in a discussion which is not going the way you want it to go, or you feel the other person is not listening to what you have to say, or you feel that there is a lot of emotions running and the effectiveness of communication is not the way you want it to be, it's always good to give some time and space to both the parties involved. So take some time out, calm your thoughts, calm yourself, so that you will think more rationally and effectively. So it is always time and space, giving the time and space to all the parties involved is a very effective strategy when it comes to a conversation or when there is a conflict that has to be resolved. The next strategy here is mediation. Now, at times it could be that two people who are having the conversation or are part of the discussion are have their own thoughts and are not ready to come to a common ground here or are not ready to come to a conclusion. In such a situation, it's always good to have a third party, a person who is neutral and is unbiased. When this happens, the third person will be in a position to understand the point of view of both the people, both the parties in the conversation, and then come to a resolution which is beneficial for all the parties. So it is always good to bring in a third party who's neutral again and unbiased when the conversation is not going the way you expect it to go. The third strategy here is win-win solutions. So whenever there is a conflict or whenever there is an argument that is happening, the intention is always to win the argument. But let's change the mindset here. Why don't we think of solutions that will benefit everyone? So come up with solutions or come up with ideas together that will benefit both the parties. What will happen here is you will not only have a good resolution but will be able to maintain good relationships rather than if there is an argument and both the parties are adamant on their point. This can at times spoil the relations as well. But when you look at solutions, when you look at different ways in which this can be resolved by ensuring that all the parties are in a game here, the conversation becomes more effective. The fourth strategy here is active problem solving. Just like active listening, active problem solving is breaking it down into small components. So if there is a argument that is happening or if there is a discussion that is happening on a point and you feel that it's a conflicting situation. So it's always better if you break down the problem into small components, brainstorm, come up with solutions, come up with new ideas. What this will also do is rather than that big problem making you feel overwhelmed, it will you just have to look at a small chunk of the problem and try and find resolution for that. This way you will be in a better position to have a effective resolution or a peaceful resolution to the conversation or the argument that is going on. So try, it's a very good thing. So try doing it next time when you are in a conversation or in an argument that you feel is conflicting. Finally, forgiveness and moving forward. Now, at times, it is always good to forgive for our own peace. Remember, when I say forgive, doesn't mean that you have to forget the hurtful action. It just means that you are letting it go. That way, you heal yourself. You are you let go whatever was not beneficial for you and you move forward. Always remember, forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for your peace of mind. It is for you to feel in a better position or in a better place. So, if you feel a conversation is not going or if there is a conflict that you feel there is no peaceful resolution for it, or you are hurt because of the action of the other person, forgive and just move forward. Remember, effective and compassionate communication is a lifelong journey. By incorporating these techniques and strategies in your interaction, you will create a world of deeper connections and peaceful resolution. Let's strive for conversations that uplift, heal, and unite. Thank you for joining in today. If you found these techniques and strategies helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. I would also like to love to read your comments, so do comment. Thank you for watching. Keep building understanding and deep connections. Until next time, thank you. Bye.